Hello, YouTube and cryptocurrency family. My name is Harry, and I am the Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning in. I know that the market's been really boring, but a lot of stuff has happened today, which means things could break out even sooner than we expected. This could be a great thing. We could sit and see a new moon, or we could be bearish like I have been, unfortunately, and break out to the downside and then rally from there. But without further ado, please like and subscribe. It's the only way you'll be able to get more of this out of me if you want it. But I mean, hey, it's up to you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So if we want to go ahead and start, it is 10:54 p.m. Texas time, and on CoinMarketCap, Bitcoin is currently trading, I think it's a little less than that. It is trading at, let's break, $9,302. There's been a lot of movement on the market today, especially with Cardano. Chainlink was seeing a nice rise, as well as Stellar going up 10%, and then VeChain, something that I've been looking into a lot. Said I'm not buying any now. I had some previously purchased, and if it goes up just a little bit more, I will sell 33% of it. That way I can pay for the initial investment I put into VeChain, and then everything that I'll be holding in my little bag will be pure profit tokens. So, and I will be getting into videos on that here soon about how my exit strategies are, overall dollar cost averaging, because like I said, it's great you have 10,000 Bitcoin, but if you never sell one to get some money or ever spend the Bitcoin you have, what's the point? But we'll go ahead and start and get back into Bitcoin, because I've been very bearish, even though I've always loved Bitcoin. But then again, I'm a realist when it comes to these markets, and I try to leave emotion out of it. But then again, that's your decision to make. I am not a financial advisor. I am just a measly old little doctor. Most people don't even call me a real doctor, but that's another story. And I'm also an idiot. So, do your own research, educate yourself. Always try to keep learning, because if you do that, you won't need to watch videos like this. You can make all your own decisions on your own, and then you can teach other people and spread the word. So enough of my spiel. If we go back to the weekly chart that I have had my same trend and resistance and support lines, it's just showing that this weekly candle has destroyed both of those, and we are trading currently above it, and we have almost 5 days left in the candle before it'll close. But unless we have something really bad happen, we've already broken through this. And as you can see on our MACD and our RSI, we're in an uptrend. We crossed the MACD back here. That's when we had a little bull run there. So, on the MACD now, we may be in a slight downtrend, but overall this here right now is telling me that, we're pretty bullish on this. We've broken one term of resistance here. Or two here, and now we're going to test the next one, which is actually, I believe, is going to be like a 0.5 Fibonacci, and I have it up on the next chart, but it comes out to be about 93.13, which for the last 2 hours I've been deciding when I should actually record this, because I wanted to see if maybe I could catch one of the breaks. And I think in about 5 minutes the daily or hourly candle will close, so we'll actually get to see what happens right after that. But we have been hitting this 0.5 Fibonacci retracement line, and it's about $9,313, and we've tested it several times on the hourly. Before we get to that, the weekly is showing that we're pretty bullish overall. If we go ahead and head into the daily candlestick chart, this is where I had that, or where I was starting to look at different trends here. So if we have these two, the descending channel I have here and the ascending channel, we've been following this pretty tight, but we've been testing the top. So we got 1, 2, 3, and we're testing this top the third time as we're going into this tightening triangle here, and we've got the moving average being a support as always. There's so many things that are saying that we just need to take off, and I know that we're going to break out here soon. I'm going to go ahead and call it probably within the next week, 2 weeks max, only because our moving average is either going to have to go above it or below it, or it's going to have to go above or below one of these big resistance lines. This horizontal line I have here is going back to be a sign of support and resistance all along. It's kind of scrunched up here, but I put that on there just so we could see how we've been doing, since it's another resistance that we would have to get past in the bullish scenario. We're trading at this 93.03 right now. We are testing the top of this channel right on it. We're testing the next line above it with how high we sold today or on this candle. So overall, I'm very, very bullish right now, just because the RSI, we're in an uptrend as far as the daily start. We had the MACD cross, which is a very, very bullish sign. But once we start to get closer and start honing in on it even more in the short term, because those were the biggest trends, the macro trends coming from 2.5 years, and then I went ahead and did it and shrunk it back down to, I don't know, I think it was like 2 or 3 months. And now we're in the hourly candlestick, and I have here a Fibonacci retracement from the top of this rally here in June, which was let's see, June 22nd. So this is only about a month and a half ago, and this is when we were at a high point testing where we broke out of the channel, and I just did a fib retracement all the way down to the bottom that we have here. And if we come to this line, we can see that at 93.13 we've been testing it, and we're currently trading at this resistance line right now, and this candlestick actually closes in 10 seconds. So I'm going to zoom in real quick, and we're just going to take a look. Just off the glance here, we tested a little bit below the moving average, and then we were able to close these candles right above it, and we just closed this little spinning top here right at that at the top of that channel. I mean, right at the top of it. So we have to get past this right here to even try these next lines, to even get the force behind us to really, really shoot up. And all this rejection here at the top of this resistance lines and in these channels is what's making this breakout have to happen sooner rather than later, just because we're going to have them all start to cross here, and now somebody's got to win. We can't just stay in this channel. It just wouldn't work that way. And with this cross here on the MACD, uptrend in the RSI, I believe on this one the volume was also starting to come up, showing that people were like, all right, okay, I might want to sell some of this, right? So everything is telling me that we're pretty bullish in this short term as this trend changes. The reason why I'm still bearish overall is just because the macro trends in the long run are the things that we have to beat first. Being bullish in the short term here in the hourly and the daily candles is great, and it shows a sign that we have a chance to compete against the big resistance lines. But I mean, I still feel like we're bringing a knife to a gunfight here right now. There needs to be more pressure by the bulls to scare the bears away. So I'm still going to stick with my call that we are going to actually go down a little bit before we go up. So in one of my other videos here, let me switch over. I actually put in a short on Bitcoin here. I know the numbers are hard to read, but I bought in at 80, I think it was 88.56 is where I was trying to buy at, and then I put my stop loss at, I think, 93.15 or something, and I was going to go higher, but I just thought that it was going to go down faster before it ever even tested that upper line, and that was the first Fibonacci retracement line. My next one would have been just a little bit higher. The only reason I didn't do it is just, I can't even remember why I didn't do it. I think I was just like, no, I don't need to be that safe. Like, I know for sure it's going to happen. And this is the scary part with leverage trading, and the thing I want to make sure you understand. It's like, I've been doing this for over a year and a half ish, something like that, and I've only started doing actual leverage trading in the last 6 months. I'm probably at about 60-40 on my actual, how do you say it? Probably only about 60-40 on my actual wins to loss ratios. So I'm still winning a little bit more than I'm losing on my trades, but I'm using very little amount of money. And I'm using leverage to hopefully get the bigger moves. So in that one trade that I did there, I did 0.01 Bitcoin, just, because I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to do that. I didn't want to lose that much. But if I had moved my stop loss a little bit higher, I would still be in this trade right now. However, a lot can happen. Like right now, we just dropped, oh, it's going down a a little bit faster. But there's so many buys and sells in there, so just be careful if you're going to do leverage trading. The money I use in that in my Dudex account is more like gambling to me. I pick numbers that I get off of technical analysis. I'll take my fib retracement tool and I will try to find any type of little thing that might possibly be good enough to explain the things that are happening. So like I'm taking a high and a low right now. I could say that maybe I'd put in at 0.382 fib because that'd be the next thing that we'd have to go past, or even higher at the 0.236. So I take these numbers that I use off of my trend lines and all that, and that's when I come up with my trades. And I've thought about making like a Discord or actually streaming on Twitch live while I'm doing my trades. Just so you can see my reasoning at the moment, because hindsight is always 20/20. I'm looking back now going, yeah, I'm still agreeing with what I said, but knowing the way geopolitical and everything else is going on, that you probably should have went a little bit safer, right? So maybe I put a little bit of emotion into that trade, and that's still after a year and a half of not using emotion or trying my best not to use it when I do this. So like I said, if you're new to this, your best bet is probably just to buy when there's a dip if you can. You can't always plan that, but with technical analysis you can at least know when something's going to happen, like we know now. Go to crypto.com, hell, use my link down there, right? $50 free. But that way all you have to do is link your account and you can buy something you like and just plan to hold it. That way, if you want to spend it or anything, you can cash it out right there using like crypto.com. But if you want to just hold it, you can just leave it there. If you want to do cold storage because you're worried about the government taking it from you, it's like I have links also in the description on how to do that. And I'm also going to do comparison of my Nano X, my Nano S, and the Kobo Vault. So I finally actually just got that in, yeah. So and then you don't have to worry about trading or doing all this. You just sit back, and then when you hear about it, you can buy in a little bit more and just treat it like a savings account with high volatility and very, very good returns, as long as you don't cash out at the wrong time. So just wanted to bring that up because I try to be very, very transparent about what I'm doing, and I put my money where my mouth is. I still have the original, was it 4,000 that I sold on my Robinhood card for Bitcoin, because I have my buy to buy back in at a lower amount. I'm actually no longer going to get it on Robinhood. I'm going to took the cash out of that so I could put it into another exchange, just so I could do some more leverage trading, just in case this did continue on for a long time, because you don't want to be in the middle of the rally and not be able to actually buy something because there's a card error, or the bank does this, yada, yada, yada. So just a little bit of news before I go. These two articles I have, one's very bullish and one's very bearish, because I'm trying to show you that there's good and bad news in the market. It's up to you to dictate which one is higher in importance and which one can actually make a change or dictate where the price goes from here. So this one's from News BTC, Nick Chong. The S&P 500 just formed a crucial breakdown, and Bitcoin may follow. So, leading Bitcoin higher, global stock market saw an extremely strong performance on Monday. So as covered by News BTC, the Shanghai Composite Index and the FTSE China A50 Index both set new all-time highs on a 6% surge. So the S&P 500 followed, rallying 1.5%. Yet bears have once again denied the stock market, at least in the U.S., should the correlation between the S&P 500 and Bitcoin hold. So if S&P 500 has been going up, Bitcoin's been kind of falling behind. The correlation has not been perfectly synced, because even when one goes up, or say the S&P 500 goes up a little bit, Bitcoin sometimes has not followed it directly, and vice versa. But right now, the strength the S&P 500 expressed on Monday quickly turned to weakness on Tuesday. So it slipped 1% lower, failing to surmount the ever-important 3,200 resistance for the umpteenth time in weeks. So this could be really bad, because if the S&P 500 goes down, and right now Bitcoin is trying to rally up, right? It's got all the good signs, but then it's got a little tug down from the S&P 500 just because of institutional investors and them being grouped together. That could be all it takes to bring Bitcoin into a bearish market structure. So the article has some good points. I'm not going to read all of it just so I can keep going, but I'll be sure to put a link in the description, and like if you think I'm an idiot, please tell me. I want to know. Tell me I'm stupid. But this one from CoinGeeee. This one's from John, I think it's Isage. We're going to call him John I. Thanks, John I. Bitcoin technical analysis. Bitcoin hash rate surges to all-time high, but why is BTC USD in a lull? So for those who aren't familiar with the hash rate, this just comes down to how much of the actual network is being processed and written into blocks. And I'm sure it gets way more in depth on that, and I actually probably know the answer, I just can't think of it right now. So in this article, Bitcoin network activity hits a new all-time high as mining activity surges, mainly due to cheaper electricity. So if people aren't familiar with what's going on in China, there's lots and lots of rain and things like that, but overall right now electricity is very cheap there. So Bitcoin price is embracing a sideways trend between 9,200 support and the resistance at 9,400. And we showed you these supports. We have one here with the 20 EMA, and then we also have the other one a little bit higher, which the 9,400 one's going to be at the top of this resistance line there. But stuff you already knew because you watched my channel and you learned. But Bitcoin hash rate, according to the data released by TradeBlock, a cryptocurrency firm, has hit a new all-time high. A chart image published by the firm shows that the 7-day moving average of the hash rate has crossed above the 124 exahashes per second. Exahashes per second, an increase that has seen double figures compared to the same time 12 months back. So this just means there's a lot of stuff going on the network. You know, there's more and more of the ASIC miners. I think it said somewhere in here. Some of the factors behind the hash rate surge are the role of the new ASIC miners equipment, which means more efficiency and the availability of cheap electric power following the heavy rains in China. I knew I read that somewhere. So, you know, this is also a good thing. This means that there's more interest, more innovation towards, you know, efficiency and everything that has to do with Bitcoin and its blockchain. So, you know, this is really good news, but is this enough to counteract the bad news that's, you know, happening all over the US market, stock market structure? And so, I don't know. I still think that I'm going to go ahead and bet on the reversal here. We've tested this so many times. Bitcoin's dominance overall has dropped a little bit. We're below the support line that was been the only support line that we ever used when you look at Bitcoin dominance, I guess. And so this overall is kind of still pushing me in the bearish trend. I'm actually just going to stay out of this right now and just do some more analysis on Cardano, VeChain, and see if maybe I can dictate how high this rally can go and when some good points to enter and exit would be. I'll definitely be using dollar cost averaging because I already own Cardano, Link, and VeChain. So you got to diversify. Diversify is saving me right now since I don't have as much in Bitcoin as I did before, but the money was in altcoins and those are going crazy, 10 to 20x. So last but not least, I was just going to show the Cardano here. I was starting a quick analysis on it, and besides the W that they kind of took off on, I didn't really know how much I could do as far as fib retracement to see the actual highs it'll go, but I'm going to see what kind of trends I can come with that actually have some validity to it. Maybe I can do a little bit on Cardano next in one of my next couple videos here in the next couple days. But for now, we just kind of see that it is going up and doing its thing, and we'll see where it goes from there. I know that Cardano also was potentially going to do something with the Kanye West coin, which I actually said a couple days ago, voting is the perfect thing to do on blockchain just because consensus, can't make up shit, right? So, you know, maybe I'm sure somebody else thought of it. I'm not the first guy to think like, oh, that's good news, good idea, right? But the last thing is I just did a video on Dogecoin and the history behind it, and apparently it went viral, not my video, but something went viral on TikTok where people were saying if you put in $25 in Dogecoin, if it goes to $1, you'll have $10,000. Well, if you actually watched my little video here when I was talking about it, I was showing the different levels that I thought realistically could happen here in the near future, and that got destroyed by the amount of publicity that Dogecoin got from the whole market, TikTok market, I guess. It it just went through the roof. I think Dogecoin right now is currently trading up here. I had my highest line, I think, at 0.034, and don't mind the candlesticks being all jubbed together. That's just due to the fact that we are now measured in Satoshis here on the right, because this is a Dogecoin to Bitcoin analysis, not Dogecoin to USD. But right now we are way up here. Our all-time high is not that high, so we will no, I don't believe so. I think this one actually go out a little bit bigger. I'm pretty sure. Nope, we are actually at a new all-time high for Dogecoin. I could be wrong. I might need to change my which actual exchange I'm using, but overall this is really, really high, and this could be great news, but there's I'm going to go with very, very unlikely chance that this will reach $1. That would put the market cap at like $1 quadrillion, since Dogecoin is made on every node that is confirmed. And so I just don't think that'll happen. So I'm sorry, little TikTokers, you should do a little more research if that's the claim you're hoping for. Could you potentially make a lot of money on Dogecoin? You sure can. You can make money on any altcoin if you trade it right. So that's it for me today. I thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It's the only way that my videos will even get put out there for some random person like you to come across and watch. So if you want news as fast as I get it, and trades that I'm going to make right off the bat, please follow me on Twitter at XRP Veterinarian. And you guys have a good night.